So welcome to this quick video tutorial on how to change brake pads on a Clio 197-200 platform. It's the Mark III. The tools we're going to be using, or you're going to need, is a jack obviously, axle stand for safety, and then either a gun or a bar to undo the wheels, either a mixture of some pliers or a screwdriver to push the pads back, and then a hammer to get the pins out. So this is a very easy job, so your amateur mechanic should be able to change these brake pads on these Brembo calipers. So it does apply to other models of Renault and anyone using that Brembo style caliper. So first things first, going to find the jacking point underneath the car. It's this little block here. Should have a pad on this jack, but it's gone missing, so just start jacking it up. Just enough to get that stand under there. Doesn't have to be anywhere too specific. Just for safety, that jack's not going to go anywhere. Undo the wheels. So much easier with a gun. Okay, so with the car jacked up and the wheel turned, just to give you a better angle of what I'm looking at here, all you need to do is release these two pins, which just knock through here and here, and there is a spring here. Just be careful when you do that, because that will like to spring out. To make your life easier, it's good just to release the pads off the disc very, very slightly, and then we can push the pistons back to allow the new brake pads to fit in, because obviously they're going to be a lot thicker and these have really worn down. Just how I like to do it personally, and everyone's got their own preference, but if you do have a set of long nose, I prefer just to grab the pin and just slightly push those back, ever so slightly. And then on this side, again, I like to just try and grab the pin and just push those back ever so slightly if possible. You do have another option, if you don't have those, is to grab your screwdriver, and then if you just get into the veins of the disc, you can like lever left and lever right, and the play in the disc typically will give you enough just to push those pads back. Or if not, you could get between the disc and the pad, and you can just see that you can lever those out just enough. Doesn't need to be a lot, just a little bit, just to make sure you can get those pads out, and we'll do the rest, and we'll push the rest of the pistons back with my preferred method. Grab your punch if you've got a punch. If not, hopefully these are not stuck in for you. You can use a Phillips screwdriver. I wouldn't really recommend it. I would recommend using a punch. Oh, helps if I hit it. There you go. And these have been changed quite frequently anyway, because they're a track car, so these ones have come out pretty easy. But as I referenced, that spring, when that slides out, just want to apply some pressure there so it doesn't fling out, and then you can just unhook it, and then that pin comes out. Okay, so the pin just dropped out there, and we can pull the other pin out as well. To push these pistons back, as you can see here, you've got a few methods. You could lever the piston, but you want to try not to damage the face of the piston. That's really important. But if you lever one piston at a time, how the hydraulic system works, it will feed hydraulic fluid back to the other piston, so it will push out. So you'll kind of be fighting a losing battle by pushing one back, then the other, and then the other. So what I like to do is use the old pad, and as you can see here, really used race pad, and just slide the pad in so it's touching both pistons, and then lever them against the disc. So you can lever them one way, and then you can lever them another way, and then now you can see that they are completely flat. What you can also do as well under the bonnet is just release the brake fluid cap on the reservoir if you're worried about that. But I know that my level is at the right place. So once we push these pistons back, we can just pump the pedal, and we're not going to worry about any overspill coming out of the reservoir. But yeah, that's how I push my pistons back. So that means we're ready to slide the new pad in, and then we can repeat the process on the left hand side. So let's go and grab the new brake pads and show you what we're putting in. So the brake pads we're going to be fitting today are these PBS Pro Race pads, tried and tested on this car, and what we use this car for. These pads are more than sufficient. So this is how they come packaged, and in a minute I'll show you the difference in thickness between this worn pad and a new pad. So full race pads, the PBS pads not for road use. You can see the difference there in terms of this worn pad, which is a DS3000, very good compound again, but yeah, you can see the difference there for the new one that we're putting in, and hence why you have to push the pistons back. So this still might not even slide in, and if it doesn't, then we just need to push these pads back a little more using that method, my preferred method, and then that will enable that to slide in. A little bit of jiggery pokery, but that's going in there. One thing I also like to do, again personal preference, if we can, is just try and clean up these shoulders just a little bit, just to get rid of, you can see there, that build up of brake dust, which can just add that extra couple of mil, which be the difference between that pad sliding in nicely or yeah, or not, basically. A tool that I didn't show you, well, it's not really a tool because it's a lubricant, I didn't show you in the initial slide, is just a bit of copper slip. Again, personal preference, not everyone uses this because really only minimises brake squeal, but particularly on the pins, it's good to have. But we just put it on the shoulder there, either side. Just wipe my fingers. Shoulder either side. Try not to touch the face of the pad, and then yeah, get that to slide in. So yeah, we'll do the same on this side, and then we'll put the pins back in. So as you can see, both brake pads are now in place, and then next is to put in these pins. Now you can get replacement pins if you want to. This isn't ideal because it should be straight like that, but once the pin is in, then it will be secure. So next time I change these pads, I'll probably just go for a new pin. But one thing that you should do is lubricate the pin, just a little bit of copper slip, and that just means that when the pads are sliding between the pin and there isn't any resistance, or there's less resistance there. And then what I like to do is just slide, actually I'll use that for the bottom one because it came out the bottom, is just slide the first pin in and knock that in. You can see the shoulder sat in where it should do in the groove, and the pin is just pointing out the other end. That's as far as it's meant to go. It doesn't need whacking in, just needs tapping in like that. Then the next thing is to get your spring, and you can just sit that spring in there like that. And obviously when you put the top pin in, just press the spring down. So yeah, if you wanted to go an extra step on these pins, you could actually get some sandpaper and just take the top layer of that off, that build up of dust, but I'm not concerned about that because the holes are big enough in the pad. So yeah, no concern there, but you could do it if you wanted to do it. So yeah, just slide that pin in, line it up with the hole like that, and again, just doesn't have to go mad, just tap that and that's in perfectly fine. And those are your brake pads replaced. So the next thing to do would be to pump the pedal up, to compress the pads, pump the fluid back through, because obviously you push the pistons apart, and then do the other side. So yeah, we will get the wheel back on and get it on the deck, And that'll be the close out of this video, I think. Thanks for watching.